Testing. Okay. Alright, Chapter 3, Maintenance Instructions, Section 1, Lubricating Instruction General. Lubricating instructions are in Appendix F of this manual, M917A, M970A with the material control system. Done by lubrication instruction, refer to TM 365, 3605, 264, 14P. All lubrication instructions are mandatory. Section 2, Troubleshooting Procedure, General Explanation, Columns, Troubleshooting System Index, Troubleshooting. Note the TM3805 264 14P with an M915A with an M915A with the material control system. Dump body troubleshooting section provides information identifying correcting malfunction with the developed while operating with an M915 family vehicle. The troubleshooting system indicated for the paragraph 3-4. This is the column of instruction maker with the refers to the proper page table 3 of 11 of the troubleshooting procedure. If you're unsure of the location with any without mention the troubleshooting, refer to paragraph 110, chapter 2, section 1. For troubleshooting, read the following all safety instruction warning summary at the front of this manual. Section consists of all the malfunctions that may occur with not all the tests and inspecting corrective actions. If a malfunction is not listed or not corrected, my list of the correction is notify supervisor when the troubleshooting the malfunction list of symptom system paragraph 3-4 with the best described malfunction. Turn the page table 3-1 when the troubleshooting of the procedure malfunction. The questions describe a heading for the top of each of the page. Show each of the troubleshooting procedure organized malfunction test and inspection instead of number and order in corrective action. Form each step of the order list if the malfunction corrected do not perform any maintenance task unless the troubleshooting process tells you to do so. Alright, explanation for the column. The column 2 1 to define as follows. Malfunction visual operation indication something that is wrong with equipment test and inspection procedure that isolate the problem system corrective action process procedure and corrective of the problem. Troubleshooting index air system brakes air reservoir pressure low with a warning light buzzer on the system low pressure during the vehicle operation low air pressure warning light buzzer comes on during the vehicle operation. Train brakes will not apply with the pedal of the hand control steering column and shoot the release. The control tire inflation system selector panel into the valve lights flashing 4 mode light flashing and 2 mode lights on solid drive line locking system drive will disengage indicator light stays on when the interlocking axle all-wheel drive control panel valve is moved to the unlocked or disengaged position. Electrical system one or more lighting system is not working. Your engine coolant temperature gauge indicate the engine overheat. The crank that fails to start does not develop full power into idle power. Engine oil consumption exhaust smoke with the end number operating engine normal operating speed. Failure to crank with the starter burners press start misfires runs after proper warm up period. Low engine no oil pressure power takeoff of the M916A. The M916A2 power takeoff does not engage steering. The steering of Jimmy of the wandering vehicle starting slowly intermittent to respond. Transmission slow erratic transmission clutch and engagement transmission fluid temperature gauge indicate fluid overheating during the normal operation. Wear and tire warns unevenly successfully. Vehicles wander both and once over the level of pavement, which wheels wobble. Winch drum will not operate unusual noisy when operating. Alright, malfunction test inspection corrective action. Air system and brakes. Air reservoir pressure low warning light and buzzer are on. Check with whether the air reservoir drain or clock's closed. Code with the drain clock. Step 2, if the vehicle is not coupled to semi check the position, trailer air supply knob control, pull the knob off, pull the knob out off. Step 3, start the engine, paragraph 214, check for the air leaks, for the air reservoir hose fitting is the in-vehicle air hose connection. If the air leaks, the president notify all the unit maintenance. Step 4, perform the semi-trailer troubleshooting. 2, air system loses pressure during vehicle operation or low air pressure warning light and buzzer comes on during vehicle operation. Note any change of the pressure of the brake pedal will cover the change of the air pressure reading. Ensure the trailer air supply control knob is pulled off of the operating engine with the one until the warning light and the buzzer goes off of the releasing park brake. Stop the engine. Note reservoir pressure fully pressed for the whole surface brake with the help of 2 minutes. Have the crew member check with the leaks of reservoir pressure loss during a 2-minute period should not exceed 5 psi. Flow of the air reservoir drain clocks. If the leak is present, notify the unit maintenance. Note any change in pressure on the brake pedal will cover the change of the air pressure reading. Step 2, push the trailer air supply control knob the on and change of the semi-trailer air reservoir. Repeat steps 1. Have the crew member check with the semi-trailer for leak pressure or the loss should not exceed 5 psi in 2 minutes. If the air leak present with the reservoir pressure loss exceeds 5 psi in 2 minutes, troubleshooting some of the semi-trailer trailer brakes will not apply with the pedal of the hand control with the steering column is used. Check the inner vehicle air hose for the proper connection with the semi-trailer. Connect all the hoses. Step 4. Trailer brakes will not release. Check the position of the trailer brake hand control. Move the controller forward to off position. Step 2. Check the position of the train air supply control knob. Push on the on position. Check the step 3. Check the inner vehicle air hose proper connection. Connect the air hoses. Step 4. check with the air vehicle air system for the leaks and leaks found but not unit maintenance. If the leaks are found in any of the vehicle components, then not damage in the troubleshooting the semi-trailer. Alright, tire inflation system selector panel indicates five lights flashing. Check with the weather, air reservoir drain clocks are closed. Position trailer air selector roll valve to close the air drain clocks, pull valve out. Step 2, check the condition of the tires. If it's low leak with a minor puncture, select the run flat with a continuous tire air inflation selector panel. Continue operation. Chain with the tire until the taxiable situation permits. Step 3, check for the broken and kinked airlines. If the airlines are broken or kinked, notify unit maintenance. Step 4, accept the air because leakage with the during cold weather. Status startup can occur with the tire with the non-damage. Continue operation. Continue operating the vehicle. Condition should not correct itself with the seal. Was warm up conditions does not correct itself. Notify unit maintenance. Step 6. Control tire inflation system. Selector panel indicates 4 mode lights flashing. Check the condition of the tires. If the tire has slow minor peak puncture, select the run flat air the continuous of the control tire inflation system. Electric panel continue operation. Chain the tire as soon as tactical system permits. Step 2, check whether the air reservoir drain cocks are closed in position with the trailer. Check the air reservoir drain closed and pull valve out. Step 3, check for the broken kinked airlines. Airlines broken or kinked, notify the unit maintenance. Step 4, excessive air seekers leakage during the cold weather startup can occur, but if the tires do not damage, continue operation. Continue to operate vehicle. The condition should correct itself, and seal warm out condition does not correct itself. Notify the unit maintenance. 7, the continuous control tire inflation system electric power indicate the 2 mode lights on the solid. Press A to the pressure chamber. The pressure change successful. Continue the mission. Or step 2, check whether the reservoir drain cocks are closed. Position the trailer air supply control valve. Check the air drain cock with the pull valve out. Step 3, check for the broken kinked airlines. Airline kinks are broken. Notify the unit maintenance. Driver line locking system. Driver line will not disengage. Indicator light stays on with the linear locking axle. Will lock all-wheel drive control valve is moved into the unlocked disengaged position. Step 1, ensure the system has enough time to disengage. Leave the interlock lockout all-wheel drive the unlock disengaged position and wait until the light goes out. Step 2, indicator light remains on. Excessive drive line wind up and may have the curb brake of the trailer. Slowly check the indicator light goes off. The indicator light remains on. Notify unit maintenance. Her electrical system 9. One or more lighting system not working. Check the position of the switch if the vehicle is coupled with a semi-trailer problem in the semi-trailer lighting system. Check the integral vehicle cable connection. Play with the switch in the on position. Blackout light switch at the normal position. Connect the inner vehicle cable. Step 2, perform semi-trailer troubleshooting. 10, engine coolant temperature gauge indicate the engine is overheating. Warning, not move radiator cap to the left. The engine is cold. Move the radiator cap in 2 steps. First, place the thick cloth over the cap. Slowly turn the cap to the left at the first stop. Pause to allow the pressure to escape. Turn the cap further to the left until the can be remove the pressure coolant system and escape the steam and the hot water coolant will cause serious burns. Step 1, check the engine coolant level in the radiator. Engine coolant is required in Appendix F. A malfunction test inspection corrective action. Step 2, check for the leak. If the leaks are found, the unit notify the unit maintenance. Check the radiator coolant fins of the free of mud, stone, ice, and debris. Remove anything that block with impede for the coolant fins. Step 4, check the coolant fan with the dry belts looseness. If the belts are loose, notify the unit maintenance. Step 5, check the engine oil level. The oil level is low, follow the correct level. Step 6, check the transmission fluid. If the transmission fluid is low, fill with the correct level. 11, engine cranks will fail to start. 1, fuel tank cap may become hot during vehicle operation. With the hand take protection with the remove of the fuel cap. Fuel condition valve gauge indicating switch is on position. If empty, add fuel. Check 2, check the air cleaner restriction indicator. If the indicator is clear, notify the unit maintenance. Step 3, if operating the M950 A2 with an M916 A1 in the temperature below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, check the cold weather stripping starting procedure bush. Use before the cold weathering started procedure paragraph 214. Alright, your warning. Either is flammable, highly explosive, did not perform. Either quit. Quick start checks for the inspection smoke with near flame with the spark with the file with the warning may cover the fire explosion, cover the serious injury to death of personnel. Step 4, operating the vehicle with automatic either injection. Check with the red light indicator on either the ether control relay paragraph 2A with the red light on, then notify the unit maintenance. 12, engine does not develop full power. Check with the weather power takeoff with the disengage with the power takeoff. Step 2, check with the air cleaner restriction indicator with the indicator is clear with the unified instrument. Engine does not on idle properly. Step 1, check with the air cleaner restriction indicator with the indicator is not clear. Notify the unit maintenance. Step 2, check with the operating with the M915 A2 with the M916 A1 with the temperature below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Check with the cold weather starting procedure. Use perform cold weather starting procedure. Step 14, engine fail with the crank when the starting button is pressed. Check the step 1, check with the position ignition switch. Press the ignition switch in the on position. Step 2, check the position transmission select level the license transmission selector level the neutral. Step 3, check the dirty loose of the breaking and broken battery cable. Check the dirty cable and loose connection. There's the battery ground start if the cable has been notified unit maintenance. Or step 15, engine warms, engine starts but misfire the runs run off of the after proper warm up period. Check the air cleaner restriction indicator. Indicators not clear to refer. Notify the unit maintenance. 16 steps the engine oil consumption. Check the loose oil line for the oil leaks. Oil lines loose leaks are found to notify the unit maintenance. 17 exceed exhaust smoke at normal engine operating speed. Step 1, check the air cleaner restriction indicator. The indicator is not clear, but notify the unit maintenance. Step 2, check the water in fuel. During the fuel water separator. 18 low, no engine oil pressure. Check the engine oil level. If the engine oil level is filled with the correct level, depending on power takeoff of the M916A1 and A2. Power takeoff does not engage. Check the power takeoff switch when the indicator light is on. Power take for the power takeoff switch in the on position. Ensure the indicator light comes on. Steering. Hard steering, shimmy and wandering. Note that check the tire pressure for the tires gold. Step 1, check if the tires are properly inflated. Inflate the tires proper pressure. Step 2, choose the loose lock nuts. Tighten loose lock nuts. Notify the unit maintenance to apply with proper torque. Step 3, check the worn loop of the damaged part of the axle suspension. Check the steering linkage of the wheel of the vehicle frame with the worn loop of the damaged part. The worn loose damaged parts are found. Notify the unit maintenance. 21, vehicle steering is slow and intermittent to respond. Check 1, check the power steering fluid level. The power steering fluid level is low. Fill the correct level. Step 2, check the proper operation of the power steering of the vehicle. Whether they have the turn of the steering wheel in either direction. Until the steering limit is reached, the whole steering wheel in position for 5 seconds. Turn the steering wheel in the other direction. Steering limit is reached for the repeat cycling number of turns. Transmission 22 slow, erratic transmission clutch engagement. Check with the transmission fluid level. If the transmission fluid is level, fill the correct level. 23, the transmission fluid temperature gauge indicates the fluid is overheating during the normal operation. Step 1, check the transmission fluid level. The transmission fluid level, the fluid, the correct level. Step 2, check with the transmission fluid dipstick with the discolorization with the indicator of the water coolant fluid. And the fluid that distributes is covered to notify the unit maintenance. Wheels and tires. 24, the tires worn evenly, accessibly. Check the tires with proper pressure, in tire proper for tires and proper pressure. Step 2, check the bent and the wheel rims. The rim bent with the replace the wheel tire with it. Someone notify the unit maintenance for the proper torque. Step 3, check with the loose lug nuts. Worn loose of the damaged suspension component. The tighten loose lug nuts to notify the unit maintenance to apply with the proper torque. If the suspension component for the worn loose of the damage, notify the unit maintenance. R25 vehicle liners pulls to one side of the level of the pavement. The check for the tire with the proper pressure. They inflate with the proper pressure. With the check with the tire with the proper side of the tire with the one tire match for the spare match with the replay of the mismatch tire with the spare of the one or more tire with the mismatch. Notify unit maintenance. Step 3, check with the loop of the damaged steering gear linkage. The steering gear linkage loose for the damage. Notify the unit maintenance. 26 wheel wobbles. Step 1, check for the loose missing lug nuts. Check the loose lug nuts. Notify the unit maintenance. Apply with the proper torque level. Notify the unit maintenance. Check the stew. Check with the bent rims. If the bent rims replace the wheel of the tire. Something notify the unit maintenance to apply with the proper torque. Step 3, check for the loose of the worn damaged steering suspension component. If the steering suspension components are damaged, notify the unit maintenance. Winch. The winch drum will not operate. Check for the position of the power takeoff the switch. If the power takeoff the indicator light is on, the power takeoff the switch in the on position. Check the power takeoff the indicator light is lit. Step 2, check the position and speed switch with the which control with the console with the display for the engine speed within the high position. Check the wheel and drum with the free with any debris would prevent this from turning. Remove any debris from the block of the drum. Warning: do not hold the remove the filler cap of the hydraulic fluid. High hydraulic temperature pressurized if too flat. Remove the cap slowly to prevent debris burns. Check the hydraulic fluid level. The hydraulic fluid level is low. Fill the correct level. The winch usually noisily when operating. Always wear a glove. The handle with the cable to never allow the cable to run through hand. Free cable can cut you. No operating with less than 4 turns of the cable of the drum. Keep the coil of the tighten coil of the turn together with the drum with the winch. Failure to follow the warning may result in the injury to the personnel. Check the cable does not twist and tangle the cause of the drum with the button. Pay out the tangle of the cable and straightening. Alright, section 3, maintenance procedures.